FBA and books, and I'm so burnt out on hearing about it, like, because I'm
Yeah.
around it all day, every day, right? I got my group. We've had so many damn weekly calls talking about it. Just think to myself, like, if you just go back and look at the actual numbers, your actual numbers, uh, irregardless whether that's me or somebody else, like, you're still going to be making, like, on the low end, probably like 40 or $50 an hour, which
Yeah.
you're not going to get paid doing no damn job anywhere unless you have like some type of master's degree or your own business, which this is. So I
Yeah.
think, I don't know, man, it's tough for me because I probably have like 50 one-on-one calls in a month, right? So like I do monthly one-on-ones as part of the
Nice.
YouTube membership. And for every post I see in like a Facebook group or like a YouTube video saying, hey, like this is the end, like I sit down with people like on a weekly basis that are just like crushing it. And I'm just like, you don't ever hear those stories. It's always like the crybabies that are the loudest. So I
Yeah, yeah,
don't buy
for
into none of
sure.
it.
Yeah, I mean, like the Facebook groups have been negative ever since I started. I remember just like being part of the group like 6 years ago, and like, damn, like so and so saying that the business is dead, long term storage fees are coming. Like, did I get in the business at the wrong time? And then like as time went on, I kind of found out that 6 months, maybe a year, but definitely like after a year in, I was like, holy shit, like these guys don't know anything. Like these guys, there's like the rare pessimist that's been in there for like 5 years. Respect to them, for fucking just like hanging around. But most of those people just they're actually projecting like their insecurity on you because like they're not successful. Why would a beginner come in and be successful? That's the worst thing that could happen to them is like some new person comes in and validates the concept, like Chase or Max. These younger kids come in and just fucking start doing 50,000 a month, like off the rip. Like people don't like that,
I,
and
I,
so
I
it's
mean,
easier to just bitch and complain.
see, dude, I've never been that way though. Or like maybe for like a small period of time when I first got into Amazon and like doing YouTube, like I was like big on comparisons, like comparing myself to you, comparing myself to Side Hustle Experiment back when he was doing books. I'm I tell everybody openly, like your goal should be to beat the used book guy in sales every year because my goal is to work the least amount and make the most amount of money, right? So like I 100% believe if somebody starts selling media today, they can easily surpass my numbers on a yearly basis by the end of this year because I don't put in a lot of effort, right? I go out maybe 20 hours a week, get everything I can, send it in, and you still make decent income. But like, I'm glad for like when people like Max and these other guys come in and they're just like, hey, here I am. Look, I'm crushing it. Everybody can do that. Like, you
Yeah.
don't hear the good stories. You don't hear the moms I have that I have one-on-ones with that, run the family, do this part-time, and are doing over 10K a month in sales on Amazon. Like, it's out there.
Yeah. First time tuning in live to you both, but seeing wisdom on replays this monthly call is the best. Appreciate that.
We got to keep the hope alive. I mean, like, sure, does it suck that my sell through is down 6%? Yeah, but honestly, like, just send more shit. Like, that's all it is. Scan more items, send more items. There's no secret shit we can tell you to do besides go build relationships and how to do it. But even that ain't a secret no more. Like, anybody can cold email, anybody can cold call libraries. People now like have AI that'll call a library and have a conversation for you. Like, you don't even got to be yourself on the damn phone no more.
Yeah, there's this kid. I think his name's Riley Martins or Riley Martin.
I've seen the name out there somewhere.
Yeah, and dude, back in the day, I used to do a weekly webinar. So like breaking the fourth wall a little bit when it comes to like teaching you guys how to sell online. There's this guru called Russell Brunson, and he says if you do a webinar every week for 1 year, you'll never have financial problems again. So I was like, all right, Roger, that. It was with Steve, who sold tons of courses, and I'm like, all right, let's just like get after it. So every week, I wanted to do it every day for a while, but every week we were doing a live webinar, and I just everybody in the community who had success, I would take them, take a screenshot, make a slide, and Riley was one of them. I'm trying to think of Money Badger. I don't know if you remember him. He was on TikTok for a while.
Nah.
I had like 20 slides of people, and then I had like 20 other slides that I would like rotate in and out. It was crazy, But Riley Martin, he sent me a picture of him, and he had like all these books in the background, and I'm just like, this kid's doing 20K a month, and he was like one of the ones like reminds me of Max or reminds me of Chase. You know, they just like popped up and got like super successful really fast, like almost to the point where it's like, does this guy know what they're doing? Like, I'm sure you feel the same way when someone comes to you like that. It's like, well, great, you're doing 20K a month, but like, are you profitable, or like, how did you just get there like so fast? But a lot of times, like, these kids just grinding. And with books, like if you're buying them for $1 or $2, you're probably safe. But what gets me worried is when I see someone like have a full-on warehouse, pallets of books, and then they're at 20K a month, and I'm like, how many people are you paying? You know, what's your ASP? Is your ASP $9 and you have 4 people working for $18 an hour? Like, there's no way you're making money at that point. So like, there's nuance to it. But anyway, all that is a long rant to say. He popped up on my feed, and you said something about using AI in your business. And he's got like 600,000 followers on TikTok now. So he used books as like, it's like the easiest fucking thing to do. Like when people type in how to make money online, they see private label, they see drop shipping, they see, I don't even know what people see. Like, you guys could probably comment below, but that's just kind of like what's in my world. And then they see used books and they're like, like that sounds, at least in my head, that sounded like the most realistic, easiest thing. That's why I did it, you know? And so I feel like a lot of these young entrepreneurs, what they do, like, I don't know if Max will be selling books in 5 years. Like my gut would tell me he's probably going to do something else. Like we'll touch base with Max in 5 years and see what happens. But anyway, Riley started doing like AI coding and just like took off on TikTok, 600K followers or whatever you call him. I think on YouTube he's huge too. And I think he made an app that it's like, I don't know if it connects to ChatGPT or Gemini or one of those AIs. And like he built an app that codes apps. And so that just goes to show like this can be a stepping stone to something else. Or you could even go use his app to like code a book repricer or a book, whatever. And it's just cool to see people make it, you know, over the years and maybe graduate, maybe they don't. I know people who are in books who've crushed it and some people are like, it's so sticky. Like some people just can't leave the business, you know, like I have friends that are just like, oh, I want to get out of the book business. And they're doing like, it sounds crazy, but like 15 million a year. And they're like, yeah, I just want to move on to something else. And then he went and bought like a warehouse in Austin, Texas, or somewhere in Texas, and is now just like scaling a book business there. I'm like, I thought you were wanting to get out of the business, and like, you know what you know at a certain point. And like, if you're really comfortable with books and you know how to scale it, it's like, why would I go do something else? So
that's the thing, man. I know you hear like a lot of rich people say this shit all the time. Like the boring stuff is how you're going to make the money. And that's literally like, I think about this when I was out the other day for the full day. I think to myself, like, man, I just go in these stores. I'm in the same stores. They still smelled like crap the last time I was here. And I'm just scanning the same type of stuff. Like, it is the most unexciting thing. But, like, if you want to make money, like, this is what you do. It's so stupid.
Yeah. And, like, the whole boring thing and, like do the boring work over and over again. Like, I've thought about this a lot over the last couple of years. I think the key is, like, find, like, the thing that they say, follow your passion, is also true. But like the idea that you're going to be passionate every day about doing whatever, whether it's like dog training, that's like in my head, the thing that I would be passionate about. But I guarantee you 4 months in dog training, I'd be like, get this fucking dog out of my face. I'm tired, you know? And same thing goes with content. Like I've been so burned out with content in the past, like posting, like people look at us and they're like, oh, like your life's so easy. But there's days where I'm like, I did not want to turn on this fucking camera.
Yeah, I do.
But then there's days where you love it. And so I think like, finding Naval Ravikant says, find what feels like play to you, but feels like work to other people. And like, really, like I think that is kind of a hack, because then you can do the subjective, boring work. It might be boring as fuck to somebody else, but it might be semi-interesting to you. And if you can do that over and over again for years, like that's the path to financial freedom right there. You know?
I think it's, you got to look at it from this perspective too, right? Like, we both have, come from different upbringings. And I think for us, we see it as like the easiest stupid work ever, right? Like you give us a scanner, we just go scan. To us, it's like, wait a minute, you're going to pay me to do this, right? Like we've had shitty jobs. Like we've been through the thick of it. You lived in your car. I lived in the ghetto, right? It's like, but to other people, man, it's like, maybe they never experienced that, and that's nothing against them, but they see it as like them having to go to the thrift stores all day. It's like a chore. It's like a task. But for us, we're just like, yeah, this is stupid. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's our superpower, and maybe their superpower is thinking like of something different. Maybe it's drop shipping. Maybe that just clicks for them. But I don't think I ever would have like pursued private label the way that I am now if I didn't like enter the book world and meet all the book people and be like, oh, like I'm just as smart as him, or this guy's a fucking idiot and he's crushing it, or this guy created a software, maybe I can too. And then like from like osmosis, like learning from all of them, and then brushing shoulders with the OA kids, and then being like, okay, that's not for me. Like I'm just not. I can't sit on the computer and like look at Nike shoes and like stack the coupon code. I tried it for 6 months. I really like put my head down and like I grinded through, and I can't do it, you know. But then meeting people who do private label and being like, okay, maybe this makes sense, and then kind of connecting the dots of like, oh, this is just like books in this way. Just like getting backroom access, I'm getting connections with the suppliers, like I'm getting lower pricing, like I have exclusivity now, and like kind of like learning, like it all connects together. But there's some freaks in nature that can just like from day one, like Mark Zuckerberg, just think like to the fucking moon, you know, with Facebook, and like have that vision that you can create something. And I think we can all build that with time. And I think just fucking flipping books on the Amazon is like a great way to prove to yourself that like, holy shit, I can make money online. And then that does open up a lot of possibility for you, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I just, the whole reason I have the YouTube channel is to help people and just like to be a proof of concept, right? I could care less about anything. I just want someone to go out there and make a couple $1,000s a month, putting in a little bit of effort. I mean, it's pretty crazy how like over the holiday break I wasn't thrifting as much, and there was a week or two where I sent like 1 or 2 boxes, and like I look and I'm like, man, I went out for like half a day and I'm probably going to make like $900 from this one box of like DVDs, CDs, and a few books, right? It's like, if I can just get enough people just to like give me one box a week, right? Like all of a sudden this starts compounding and compounding. And I mean, we try to be straightforward and tell people, right? Like Amazon is going to take time to get there, right? It's a slow launch in the beginning if you're a brand new seller, but the payoff at the end of the road, because so many people give up before they even give it a chance, like to come to fruition.
Yeah, 100%. And content's a grind too, you know, and shout out to you. Like you're one of the most consistent, I think you might be the most consistent book selling content guy out there right now. And like that's something to be proud of, you know, because you're showing up every week, or I don't know how often you do the lives. We do it every month, but fucking 50 one-on-ones a month, like for what's the membership cost?
All right, so it's $25 I charge people for 25 minutes, but YouTube takes 30% of that. So I get like,
dude, get a Venmo account, bro.
It's I mean, but that's the whole reason I started the content. It wasn't, I understand like I'm never going to be able to get rich off creating media content selling on Amazon, on YouTube, right? Like there's not enough people in the universe to get big enough. So it's like I just want to give people a real picture, and like if I can help somebody on a quick one-on-one just kind of change your business or make a few changes and make more money, like I believe good karma eventually will be paid back to me in some way, shape, or form.
Like, I don't know, not to put you on the spot, but like, do you know like the biggest thing that you've kind of gotten out of posting, like maybe relationship wise, or like just anything that maybe you got like a source for books from your
this is going to sound stupid, but I think it's the biggest thing. It's accountability to myself, because I have to go every week and I have to create the content. And I'm also transparent. I'm not one of these people that just runs their mouth. Like I show my numbers, my yearly numbers, my monthly numbers, what everybody's looking at. So I can't be a crumb bum in my business and not do shit, because then all of a sudden Mike stops posting his numbers and it's like, hey, Mike's bankrupt, right? Like he hasn't posted his numbers. Like, so it's like, it's motivation and accountability for me is the biggest thing that it gives me. It makes me go out and do my quote unquote job of actually selling media on Amazon.
Yeah. What's pretty cool is like, you're kind of like once you start flipping shit, I look at everything as being flipped. Like I bought a house, I'm going to flip it one day. You start a business, you can sell it. I sold restrictedinventory.com. We're kind of flipping. We're flipping books in a sense, like via social media content. So like what we're doing is we're going to the store, flipping books, or I used to flip books. Now I just go in the thrift store, record myself for 5 minutes and then leave. But now what I'm doing is I'm taking that video of me flipping books and now I'm flipping it on the internet to get more attention. And then this turns into something else, you know? And so it's all flipping. You're taking one thing, flipping it. Maybe it's taking a physical product, flipping it on the Amazon, or like you record yourself doing it, connect with the community, and then you can also flip that. And you don't even know what the ROI is going to be on that.
Yeah, I mean, and you have the software, right? So, you know, it's content that has another payoff for you down the road.
Exactly, yeah. So like I've had moments where I get like $200 worth of profitable books, and like my DNA and like like what I'm used to is like I have to fucking send this to Amazon. Like I cannot I shot a YouTube video on this, but I have to send this now. But then I'm like, if I just do like a giveaway in the Facebook group and just give someone these for free in exchange for like a free trial to go to Lister, the math is fucking crazy. If I get 10 signups and 5 convert, 5 times 50 is $250. Multiply that by 12, and then multiply that by 4, and it's several $1,000s. And that's like the ultimate valuation of what it would add to the company. And it's like you're taking a box of something you flip on Amazon, and instead you're like, how can I flip this some other way? You know, and of course I didn't think that at the beginning. Like I wasn't that intentional with it, but that's a powerful thing about social media and just networking and connecting with people. Like it really is. Like I think it's so ironic too, because I think the appealing thing about flipping shit on Amazon and selling books on Amazon is you don't have to talk to people. Like that's what I love is like sometimes I can be really introverted, and I can just, if I just go in a thrift store all day or I'm on my computer looking up private label, like I can just not talk to anybody. But social media is kind of the opposite. You can be a freak and just talk to the camera all day, but you're probably going to be doing lives with people and like other things like that. And that's where you're kind of getting out of your comfort zone, but that's really where you really make the connections. You know, I was going somewhere with that, flipping shit, social media. Anyway, it's kind of like a form of a book. You know, like we're putting this out here. Like this is like a chapter of Avery and Mike, and then people can watch it and get value out of it. And then, you know, maybe it comes back to us, maybe it doesn't, but we definitely made some noise.
Yeah, I agree. You know, everything is going to have a payoff if you're willing to put in the time and effort. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow. You know, when you first launched Go To Lister and you got your first 10 signups that weren't your mom and your friends and your family, right? You're like, shit. You're like, yeah, I made it. It's like you didn't even see how far down the road, but you're just like, if I stay consistent with this, eventually you break through. I think that's the same with business, man.
Yeah, that was with books for me, man. Like I did not expect this to open up the door that it did, and that's kind of why I brought up Riley earlier. Was like, and even when I make content now, I'm like, I think, who am I affecting? Like, who am I bringing into this business? How's it gonna, like, are people gonna be mad at me because like I brought them into books? Like I want to make sure I set people up for success the whole way through and don't make it like a painful process. It's gonna be painful regardless, but. Just seeing like how sometimes you have to go to flipping books on Amazon to even get the confidence to do the next thing, you know? And, I think that's kind of the cool thing about this whole thing that we're doing here, making content, is like, you're taking people into this world of e-commerce and just getting them their first dub, like getting them the first, you know, victory. And then they can decide what they want to do with it. But I talk to people on the phone who, like the guy doing 15 million a year. I talked to him on the phone, like, fuck. 2019. How many years ago is that? It's 2026 now. 7 years? Are you fucking kidding me? That it feels like a couple years ago, but it feels like yesterday. That's why I brought him up because I'm like, oh, it was so fast. It was 7 years, but it felt like it just happened. And like I remember back then being like, oh, I'm the expert, and I had been selling for 2 years, and then fast forward, and now he's doing 15 million plus. And I'm sure you have a lot of stories like that too. Maybe Max is one of them that I can think of that's like kind of public, but you probably have a few gangsters in your community that
behind the scenes, you'll never see them.
Yeah. And it's like, it's like the ego gets in the way. It's like not all because of us, but they will like blaze you up and be like, bro, like it was all because of you, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, I just put dumb videos out there. I can't even read the books, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's. I think you're right though. I think people maybe not so much use this as comparison, but at the end of the day, like I'm excited for everybody to crush the game, right? Like you talk about these people doing millions of dollars. Like I'm glad for everybody to make as much money as they possibly can. Like that's what I want to see. I want to get the person who, and a lot of us start with books. Dude, I'm gonna be straight up. I started with books. I was broke, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can go spend 50 cents for a book and sell it for X amount of dollars, right? Like I'm not out to pocket a lot of money, and I think that's kind of why a lot of people start too, is because it's so cheap. So just, I mean, I just think about like if you can make an extra $500 a month and you're broke, like that shit's gonna change your life. It might not seem like a lot to a lot of people, watching this right now, but I remember being broke, and if I had an extra $500 a month, sheesh, we've been cooking up out here.
Yeah, it's good to remember that feeling because I feel like I've been through like enough ups and downs where like when I'm up, I remember it because I'm like I gotta like hold this. I got to maintain it because I can't get like the first time you make it, it's kind of like, oh, everything's always going to be good, but shit's always going to happen. The buy box is going to go away. Storage fees are going to hit. Your account's going to get shut down. Like all these things are very likely to happen at some point in your journey. It's like, how do you react to that?
Yeah,
So
I agree. Let's knock out a few of these questions. We got some good ones here from P. Witter. Seems like I've been selling more books in the last few days than I was a couple weeks ago. Wondering if the buy box reverted back. No, the problem is people assume that the buy box is broken on every listing on Amazon. That is not the case. I'm here to tell you all, it's not 100% of every used listing that the merchant is getting the buy box over the FBA offer. So you're still going to see sales. And the funny thing is about it, even with this buy box issue, if for the next 30 days you sent more inventory than you ever have up to this point, you would sell more inventory in the following 30 days than you ever had up to this point. It's all about a numbers game with Amazon and media. I think a lot of people, not saying that you do, Witters, but I think a lot of people have small, like 100 books listed. I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, we need 1,000 here. We need 2, 3, 4, 5,000. That's where you're going to start making the thousands of dollars a month. But even then, right, if we're getting them at an average buy cost of $1, that's a-okay, right? If we got to put out $5,000, you're going to cash flow this. I'm not telling you you're not going to be able to go buy 5,000 profitable books tomorrow, or I would just go buy them all before you and I would pay more. But like, it's naturally going to scale you up, and it's all just volume when it comes to having more sales and selling more items. Whether the buy box is turned on, turned off, whatever the hell is going on. If you have the most inventory you ever have, you're going to sell the most you ever had. If I had a lower sell through, but I have more inventory, then guess what? I'm going to make more money because I'm selling more because I have more available to sell, even though my sell-through percentage is down.
Yep. We got David saying, have we read this one yet? What will happen or how to avoid if someone ordered my book from a different country? That all depends on your account settings, right?
Yeah, so like if you're an individual seller, are you talking FBM or FBA too, right? Because Amazon will buy your stuff and send it to other countries. FBA, you don't got to worry about it. FBM, you can turn off international orders, I believe. I only sell in the U.S. marketplace. I get chipped for all this time. Mike, you don't sell in Canada, Mexico. I'm like, no, I just been in the U.S. only. You can sell to Canada, Mexico. They'll automatically fulfill it. They'll list your items automatically over there. Not every book, CD, DVD is available in those marketplaces, but FBA, they handle all that. You'll be a-okay. I will challenge you to upgrade from the individual account because you can never become buy box eligible with an individual selling account on Amazon. So you need to have the $39.99 a month professional account. So that's my big pushback on you.
Sydney Moore in 2026 says randomness. My goal is 2 to 3 batches a week. Send more great stuff. Yeah, I mean, building that habit and like sometimes it's hard to look at like how much are you actually sending to Amazon. Like you don't even want to do it because like you have days where you source a lot and then a couple of weeks go by and you don't get anything. But like actually getting granular, I'm like, oh, I send 200 items a month. If I really want to grow this thing, I should probably get to 500. I should get to 1,000, or I should get to 2,000. Like whatever your goal is, then it's granular, and then you can really measure your progress and like get after it. But without that and without knowing what your turn rate is, like every month you should be looking at how much am I actually selling in comparison to my inventory. And it's very simple to calculate that, like units sold divided by active inventory, or just take all your sales, like your sales number. Let's say you sell 10,000 a month and divide it by, on GoToLister, we have total available inventory. Just divide it by that sales number, and it'll give you, 20% is kind of what you should aim for. But getting granular and setting that goal for yourself is really going to help you in
Yeah,
2026.
it's right on the GoToLister homepage when you log in. It'll tell you how many items you listed in the past, 30 days and how many
Yeah.
you sold. And when I sit down with people and we say, a good rule of thumb, kind of a generic assumption I've come to over the years is every 1,000 pieces of active inventory equates to $2,500 in sales a month on Amazon and media, right? So if you tell me you want to make $5,000 a month in sales on Amazon, probably going to take home like 45% of that, maybe a little less, depending on your ASP. Then we need to know how many pieces of inventory. Well, we got to have 2,000 pieces of inventory in Amazon for this scenario, but you're only at 1,000 right now. Well, how many are you sending in a month? How many are you selling a month? That's literally going to give you your runway to get to your numbers automatically. It's not like we sit here and we come up with this we're just going to pick this number out of the air. How much are you selling in a month? How much are you sending? How much are you gaining in a month to get to 2,000? Because you might send 1,000, but if you're selling 1,000, your inventory isn't going up, right? So you're not gaining any more inventory, and that it's not a bad thing. Some people just kind of plateau out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but even just understanding those basic numbers is going to allow you to make decisions to kind of see where you want to go, come the future.
Yep. What are you noticing your most successful students, given like the situation in the last couple months with the buy box? Like, what are they doing? Like, how are they sourcing? How are they reacting? Like, have they changed their triggers? Like, are you recommending new triggers, repricing, stuff like that?
It's honestly, they stay consistent. When this shit happens, they keep sending. They don't say, "Oh man, I'm gonna wait to see if this kind of comes back." They throughout the whole, from the beginning to the end, they continue to send. And I've talked about it multiple times in groups. I will put a new trigger video out this week. It is a little bit different. It's kind of just some eye-catching things to kind of make you notice and take a second and realize, because the no FBA shit, we can't get the crazy prime bump on. You have to pay attention, and if you're not going to look at your phone while you're scanning, then at least scan through everything before you actually check out. But you got to up condition everything. Everything's at least very good condition moving forward, if not everything being like new. Now, before everybody gets up, yelling and screaming that a book is not like new condition. Well, if you actually look at Amazon's book guidelines, you can type it in the search bar up top. It'll pull up the book guidelines. You could sell books like new condition that are X library. If you go off Amazon's guidelines, what the problem is, people have their own guidelines, and to them, X library, there's no way this could be like new. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're selling on Amazon's platform, not your own platform. So if I can make more sales and stay within the condition guidelines, then guess what? I haven't listed a damn thing good since this started, and I never will again. Everything is like new. If it's beat up, then it's very good. That's just the reality. The game Amazon wants us to play. The big guy's been doing it for the longest time, merchant fulfilled. Amazon finally flipped the switch and said, hey, condition now matters. Well, then guess what? Condition matters to us. Let's run it up.
And what's like your? I'm not doubting you, but what's like your biggest data point for them giving the buy box to like new, very good?
So I went in and I was looking at my old inventory that hasn't sold, right? So I'm like, why the hell haven't these sold? Going to these listings, right? I'm FBA, they're merchant fulfilled, or they're FBA as well. There's been situations where I went into listings and I was over $1 cheaper than merchants and FBA offers that just were conditioned better than mine, and they were winning the buy box over mine because my condition was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's crazy. I mean,
and you're seeing the opposite too, like when, or I guess you're seeing when you do like new as FBA that you're getting buy box more.
100%. So I finally, once it started happening, I started upgrading everything. I started putting my condition in the SKU on GoToLister. So I wasn't doing it before because shit didn't matter. Good, like new, very good. None of it mattered prior to, this whole buy box thing this time around. Well, now I actually have the condition. So whenever I go and look at my orders, at night, in the morning, You can see the LN like new. Yeah, so it's definitely 100% makes a difference. And if nobody, go look at your old listings if you're selling used media now, and click through and see why you're losing some of the buy boxes, even at a cheaper price, even at a better delivery time, FBA over the merchant by a week in some cases. If they are very good, you'll be on that page. There'll be two different buy boxes. It'll be the used very good merchant and the big buy box, and then your FBA good and the little buy box underneath. It's got to be condition related because it's not the shipping time and it's not the price. But you can even be cheaper than the merchants and they still won't give you it. I don't know what they did, but condition now is like a huge factor. Yeah. So everything's got to be like new or very good.
Yeah, that's good. I'm a teacher, and during my Christmas vacation, I discovered you guys and decided to go for it. These 2 weeks I have off. My first box was awful, but each box afterwards, I sent much better choices. Nice.
Sounds See, like when Avery started back in 2010 or whenever the hell he did, right? You didn't get punished for mistakes, right? You could get things removed for free. The fees were like 10 cents per book, right? So Avery was making bank when he started. Nowadays, it's a little bit rougher out there for the newbies.
I definitely made. I shipped a whole box of free library books, and I didn't scan them with Scout IQ. Scout IQ didn't exist. It was FBA scan at the time, and I just shipped them, and I was like, oh, these are going to sell just like my textbooks are selling. And I think it was like a year later that I was like, oh, like these books are still there. I have to pay. I don't even know if I paid removal fees. It might have been free back then. But
I wish we could go back and see like our first boxes we ever sent, just so we can see the garbage. Yeah. I mean, at the beginning we all suck. So
yeah, and you got to do that. Like that's kind of like then, and like after being in business for so long, that's what you realize is like, like I'm at the phase of I'm doing private label now and I'm launching new products, and I'm like, I just know I'm at the dog shit phase right now. Like I'm at the phase that I was at with sending like the shitty books, and I'm like, fuck, like I have to get through this, but you got to get through it. You like the only path is to go forward, and you have to make these mistakes. And like once you're aware of it, you're like, I know I'm fucking it up. And like, this teacher here, she knew it's good when you make that adjustment. Like you realize the trash that you sent, because then the next time it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And then if you really think about how much business expertise you have, even just like in selling used books after like a year or two, it's like, wow, like I know so much shit that like when I walk into a thrift store, I have such an advantage over somebody who is just getting started. And that's really where like the knowledge compounds into helping you out,
I agree.
Well, you can't get it just by watching Mike D's book guide videos. Like you got to actually go out and do it.
Nah, you just got to scan shit. You don't need to know nothing about books. I mean, honestly, just when it comes to Amazon, you don't got to know shit. You just go scan. You got a solid trigger set. You're going to be A-okay. I mean, I still don't know shit about books. Famous authors, famous books. I have no damn idea. I'm just like, I just want to sell this shit. I could care less who wrote it or, for what reasons.
2026, sending books to Johnny B.
Johnny B is my podcast host. He does like eBay consignment for like old shitty books. So any books that don't have barcodes, people send him stuff. Go to Goodwill Thrift.
I thought he was talking about Jeff Bezos for a second. I thought he forgot Jeff's name and put Johnny. Matt Clements says, my only hang up is I'm not sure at what point you would be able to point Amazon's condition guidelines back you up when you get too many of those item not described. Do you get those a lot? The item not described?
My return rate is under 3%. So here's the trade-off, Matt. I'm going to put you at ease right here, right now. All right. So we're doing everything like new. Me and you, Matt, our return rate's 3%. We're worried about if we're going to start conditioning our items like new, that all of a sudden the returns are going to flood in. Well, I challenge you to look at it from the other side of the spectrum. Well, if our return rate goes up 1%, but our sell-through rate goes up 2%, we are making more money on the back end. Now, what is the consequence, right? You get a negative feedback. Well, thankfully, in Amazon land, every FBA feedback can be removed, irregardless. If you made a mistake, I've done it. I get a feedback that says 1 star. You left out Lion King 1 out of the Lion King 1 and 2 DVD set. Well, I probably did. It doesn't matter what they say. You can have it struck through. The idea is to make more money. And if we have to up-condition our books to make more money, even if we see an uptick in return percentage, your sell-through should basically wipe all of that out. And if you have under a 5-6 return rate, like that's still super low for any type of e-commerce business, especially on Amazon. So the theory is you make more in sales, and you're going to be able to wipe out your actual updated return rate. Now, do we have enough data to sit here and say you're going to see an increased return rate? I personally, I'm going to give it probably 3 to 6 months before I go see, hey, is my return rate above 3%? Is it above 5%? I seriously think maybe you see a 1 or 2% increase unless you're doing super low volume. But for us that have thousands, I don't even think it's close to even think about like that being a choice to not condition your books higher.
Mm-hmm.
You got to sell it first to get a return.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also like I remember back when I was, listing a bunch of books, and it does feel good to list a book as like new. It's like, okay, I properly conditioned this book. Now the person knows it's like a very, very good condition, like a like new book. It just something feels good about doing that. It's like you put the sticker on it, but I always told myself this is a fucking waste of time, because I just like looked for maybe a minute at the book and made sure there was no highlighting or whatever, and at the end of the day, I was always taught that anything wins the buy box, like acceptable, good, very good. So just chase the buy box, don't worry about condition. And so like I think it's actually like an exciting thing to be able to condition the book and know that it's going to pay off now. Like I actually like that a lot.
I don't even think you condition. I think you just take the path I take and just like new everything out the door. I'm not doing anything different than I've done before. I kept my condition note the same. I don't
Are
even
you in
think
like
condition.
new and then like you come across like a not a water damage book because you don't want to send those, but something that's like a little bit rougher, but you still want to send it? Would you then like go acceptable, or you just full
Nah,
send
maybe
it?
I go very good if I feel
Yeah,
like clicking the extra button and go to Lester. But I think we overthink a lot of this shit when it comes to the condition. I don't think condition guideline your little note there means absolutely nobody reads the condition
yeah,
notes. I don't even think you need them
yeah.
honestly. But yeah, for me, like new everything out the door. The only caveat is you can't do like new DVDs and Blu-rays because if they have a digital code, it's required to be in there and not used up. So with the DVDs, you got to do very good. But the CDs, you can do like new. They don't require any digital codes or anything like that. I mean, most of the stuff we send anyway is is in the category of like new, right? Like we're not going to send in the pissed up stuff you're talking about, irregardless. So I mean, it's
Hmm.
I think people overthink it, and it's just a change we got to make to continue to sell more items.
Matt says I like that argument. I'm feeling better. We got an automated fulfillable settings question. Do you enable what's your fulfillable inventory setting?
Oh man, this is a loaded one, but I'll give you the DL on what I do. So automated fulfillable settings should be enabled, right? Because we have it set to 12 months, which you presumably have it set here because they sent you stuff back over 360 days. So at the 12-month mark, Amazon creates a removal order on your behalf. Now, how you have these set up is going to be different for everybody. I have mine set up to liquidate, right? So we're going to reprice aggressively. If we haven't sold a book or CD or DVD in 12 months, it's garbage. Our minimum's down at $6. If we can't sell the damn thing at $6, unfortunately, we deserve to get slapped upside the head after 12 months, right? These happen. Nobody here has 100% sell through of their media business. Not even me, who's the craziest, most aggressive repricer out there, right? So at 12 months, first option is liquidation. So they try to liquidate your items. They charge you between like 20 and 50 cents per item if it can be liquidated, and then they give you what the person purchases it at, usually a nickel to a quarter. So you pay less to have it liquidated than having it sent back to you or disposed of. Now, the caveat to that is Amazon doesn't liquidate all of the stuff anymore like they used to. Used to be able to go in and liquidate everything, they automatically take it. So the next step you have is have it sent back to you or have it destroyed. I don't want the junk back. It's no good to me, right? It hasn't sold in 12 months. I don't want to see this stupid thing that I bought that I shouldn't have bought 12 months ago. So I have it destroyed. But it costs the same to have it quote unquote destroyed by Amazon or sent back to you. So you can have it sent back to you. Now the thing is, they won't let you have it sent back if you have liquidations turned on in some of these cases. So liquidation, I have it destroyed after 12 months. We shouldn't want that stuff back anyway, because if it hasn't sold in 12 months and we're repricing aggressively, it's not like it's going to be a profitable book when you get it back because it sucked. It sat there for 12 months and never sold. But yeah, it's expensive now. A book that's based on size and weight of items. So a book's going to cost you basically what you said, $1.50 to $3.40. Now the DVDs and CDs, they actually decrease the removal fees on them for this next year. So they went from $1.04 to 84 cents. So it only costs 84 cents to have a DVD or CD removed versus a book that's going to cost you basically $1.50 to $4.
Nice. This is a great live. I feel like we should transcribe it and make Mike's rules. Everything listed as like new. Break down your settings for unfulfillable. No eBay ever.
Never. Never. Go do anything else besides eBay books.
I'm hopeless condition junkie too. Been doing very good all along. Matt, how's your sell through rate? My DVDs Amazon relist is like new. Interesting. Have you ever noticed that?
What do you mean relist?
Oh, maybe it's if it's a new DVD and it sells, that makes sense that they would relist.
Oh, I see. So maybe you have. I thought the grade and resell program wasn't for media though. I thought it was only for other categories.
So what is
I don't know. I could be wrong though.
What is that program again? They actually they look at your item and.
Yeah, bullshit. They're not looking at it, but I mean, maybe that's what they do with the new DVDs. Maybe it does apply to new DVDs and CDs. I don't know. I don't have my grade and resell turned on anyway. I just liquidate everything out the door.
Yeah. He said I couldn't tell you I'm a hobbyist.
Just go to your GoToLister homepage. If you're not using GoToLister, security, get this guy out of here.
Yeah, that's after party at Books and Beyond. If you're not signed up for GoToLister, you got to get out of the after party. So, like new to DVD is away in 2026. Hopefully, I won't get a ding.
Yeah. The secret's out of the bag. Everybody that pays me for my membership will be bitching at me about it. But I honestly, none of this matters. Like new, at the end of the day, all you got to do is go out and scan more items than the next guy or girl, and send more items than the next guy and girl, and you will make more money than the next guy and girl. Like, I can sit here and tell you, like new, liquidations, here are the exact settings, here's the exact triggers. None of it means nothing unless you actually go out and scan things at the end of the day. That's why I don't care. Like, the video I got going live tonight, it's like everything that I sent, like, in a box this past week, it's like, I don't care that anybody sees this, right? Like, I want you all to go find this stuff, and all you got to do is go out and scan it. Like, there's no secret sauce to this. It's just putting in the time and effort.
Yeah. I guess back to my question earlier about your most successful students, because I've been thinking about this a lot, is like, okay, what person is ideal to sell books on Amazon, and then what guarantees their success if they put the work in? So, like, are these people doing like backroom access? Are they hitting up library sales? Are they all different strategies? Are they in medium-sized cities? Like, is there anyone in small towns crushing it? Are people like driving 200-mile radiuses around their city? Like, are you noticing trends with like the most, like the savages in the community that are crushing it?
It's funny, like everything you just said, I know at least one of those type of people that I have one-on-ones with, right? Like, I have a lady who has only relationship with her local library that does, 5 figures a month on Amazon, right? Like, and it's just her one library, and she'll go out and hit a few thrift stores. But like that one relationship, she is the book person. Every book that comes into that library, even though it's a smaller town, she gets first dibs of everything and has, basically a non-existent buy cost. And I also have people that will say, hey, I'm going to go drive and I'm going to take the week trip and I'm just going to get a hotel and I'm going to hit everything down there once every other month. And yet again, absolutely crushing. I have people
my brain can't fathom getting a hotel on like a sourcing trip because it eats into the profits. So I've thought about I think I'm going to do this video this year where I drive for like a week, or I don't know, however long it takes is going to be the video. Like, I'm going to go and live in my truck this time. I got a truck now. And however long it takes for me to get X number, depending on how ballsy I feel when I make let's just say $10,000 profit or $20,000 profit. Like, until I get $20,000 profit shipped to Amazon, I can't come home and I have to sleep in my truck the whole time. So
I don't think it'll take long. I mean, honestly, I'll give you, maybe if you go out 5 days straight, I think you probably can hit it. Like, especially if you go to some bigger cities.
I'd be out at all your thrifts. I'd be building that backroom access.
I mean, some of these people only have one really good bulk location that they go to once a month, and they spend like 2 days there, like it's a Saturday, Sunday type deal. Yeah. And they leave and they still haven't scanned everything there. Like, it's just one source, and they're making, multiple thousands of dollars a month. And I'm just like, guys, stop going to the Goodwill. Like, look for these little type of opportunities and like have a conversation with a local library or like a local small like record shop and get some of these accesses. They're still there for the taking. It's not like they're all taken up by no means. It's not even close.
Yeah, usually like my best sourcing days, I'd be like, okay, we're gonna hit 20 thrift stores today. Me and Andrew Gong, we went up to Portland, Maine, and we drove down to Washington, D.C. And I'm like, I don't know, we'd say like 20 thrift stores is our goal today. Our best days, we hit like a couple thrifts. And then we were like, oh shit, like these are really good. And we just stayed there the whole time. So be careful with what goals you set, because that determines a lot. Like, is it X number listed per week? Is it starting out? I feel like it should be locations. How many locations did you hit up? And then once you find that, like, be smart. Like, once you find the good locations, don't be like a robot and go to naturally people are going to go to the better places. But some people, they just think too much about like, oh, I'm going to drive this far. And it's like, your goal should be to get as many good books as possible. And then, think of, for me at least, like think of building long-term relationships that could really pay off,
Yep.
And once I kind of found out about backroom access, it's uncomfortable for me to ask for. I don't want to fucking go ask the manager for backroom access. Like, I just want to fucking just listen to Joe Rogan and scan or whatever, like whatever podcast. I don't want to like talk to people. But then like once I found out, oh, this is like the most important thing I could do to get books that have really high % acceptance rate, then it was like, well, if that's like the most important thing I could do, I should be asking. The first thing I should do when I walk in, if that's true, is just go straight to the manager. And then that became the thing we would do. Like, I would just walk in the thrift store in a city that I'd never been in and go straight to the manager and say, hey, like, I'm interested in buying more books than what you guys have available. Like, could I potentially look at the books you have in the back? We'll keep it organized, blah, blah, blah. And it was uncomfortable. Like, and you get over it after a while. But in my head, that was kind of like the thing that I could do that would really, pay off the most. And it, ironically, what became the thing that was like the most important was posting on social media, because by posting on social media, I built restrictedinventory.com, which for people,
it's not even like, I think what you're saying is like the hardest way to do it. Like, I don't even think you got to even, I think if you go in and you buy a bunch of shit, a bunch of books, CDs or DVDs, and it's sure, your bigger chains, they don't give a shit. The person working does not care. But you go into a small mom and pop, I literally had this happen to me. Like, they're like, hey, you're buying all this stuff. Nobody else is buying in quantity the books, the CDs, the DVDs that we are. And I go up, I put all my shit down, I'm spending $100, and the lady's like, hey, we got like thousands of these in the back. I'm just like,
yeah, you're right. I guess like I would go straight to the manager, because it's like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. And I know the number one thing I can do is get backroom access. So why not just ask for it immediately? And plus, like, we were just going from thrift store to thrift store. But the way you're talking about, by like having the social proof of the books in the cart and like showing them that you're alleviating the pain of all this fucking media, which it is pain to them. Like, they literally have all these boxes in the back. They don't want to carry that shit. And by showing them that you're going to take it away and pay them cash for it is huge. And I'm drawing like a lot of parallels between like private label and books. And one thing I've noticed that's similar to like that dynamic is like when I'm talking to my suppliers now, they don't give a shit if you just message them cold and you're like, hey, give me a discount or do this or do, like, they're just like, fuck off. Like, you're just like another Amazon seller or drop shipper or somebody just trying to make money off of them. But the moment you place like a couple $1,000 order, the negotiation power is huge. You could probably talk them down 20-30% in price. Like, the price that you're buying at, you got to buy it the first time. But after you buy it a couple times and they know you have options with other suppliers, that's really where like you can negotiate that margin. And so it's all just like, business is business, and like by helping people solve their problems, taking away the books that are heavy, taking up space, they're getting too many donations. Like, if you can alleviate that from them, you're gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, I agree. Miss, I'm gonna put the YouTube video I made about Merchant Fulfilled, how to set up your template. It's an old ass video. You're probably not even gonna think it's me, because back then I weighed an extra 60 pounds than I do today. But That's going to walk you through how to set up your template. The big thing you're looking for when you go on your template, you don't want automated control by Amazon. You want to make sure you have your handling time furthest out. I think now it's only a day, maybe 2 days for some accounts, but you have to ship shit in a reasonable time. But when you actually go in, you want to make sure your transit time is set up correctly, or Amazon will have you ship priority mail overnight unless you use like pirate ship. But you want to buy shipping through Amazon, that gives you more protection. So make sure your transit time is set up correct, and make sure that's your default template once you do have it set up. But once you have that set up, you get an order, you go in, you buy shipping, you'll be able to actually choose bound, print and matter or media mail when you get the order, and you'll be a-okay. But just make sure you take the time to get it set up properly.
Victor saying for CD, if Scoutly sales scores 0, but the rank is 200,000 and the current listing merchant fulfilled is $45, would you buy it? Now, I'll take this one because like it blows my mind that people don't think of this, and I think this actually violates your principles. But just fucking look at the Keepa. Like if you zoom out to a 12-month period, you can see the reality of that sales score, eScore, sales score, whatever app you're using. I trust it, but I trust Keepa more. And so by zooming out, I can see how many times does that green line go down. And more importantly, I can zoom out to like a 5-year period, and I can look 5 years. Did the CD ever sell? So maybe it sold for $22 like every month, or maybe it sold like for $10 every day, but now $45 is too much. And just by zooming out and seeing the full story, like you're not relying on sales ranks. Like it's a good metric. Like wholesale, private label, like I know whatever 20K sales rank's good. In books, CDs, like 200. I'm not as familiar with CDs and DVDs. 200K, like you're probably getting to the territory you don't want to be in. But Keepa tells the whole story. Like sales rank is just a screenshot in time. Sales score is generated from Keepa, right? That's where sales score comes from. I don't know if you guys know this, but it comes from Keepa, and it's how many times days with sales multiplied by 6 or whatever. And so like at the end of the day, when it comes to, that's not even like a crazy high priced item, $45, but it's probably worth looking into. Maybe you could sell it for $20. You could pick it up for $1. It'd be worth it. But that's my answer. What's your mentality with
you hit it on the head. I think a lot of people see the numbers and it's like, all right, the numbers are telling me this is either a yes or a no. So what these numbers tell me immediately is it's clearly sold in the past year, but it hasn't sold in the past 6 months, right? So we got 0 sales score. The rank's only 200K. It's high, but it's not like super high, right? So this is telling me it's sold in the past year, just not in the past 6 months. So we got 0 sales score. I personally would buy this, but my business model is a little bit more aggressive. I'm doing exactly what Avery said, throwing it in $19.99. I guarantee you that CD probably will sell within the month. I've sold the highest ranked CD I sold this past year was like 780,000. It was probably a situation just like this, where whenever you see the merchants are super high on an item, just take a second look at that, right? Because if we can come in and heavily, the reason the sales score is 0 is the item's been available for sale. It's just the price is too high. Anybody can ask any price. Well, what is the real price of that? So that's what it comes down to when it comes to like, hey, all right, when you list it with GoToLister, thankfully I never had to pay for Keepa because Avery pays for it for me, right? So like you can go back and see the full year and you'll be able to see that, all right, it last sold for this amount of money. So you can't be, I think a lot of people get greedy and they're like, well, the merchant's at $45. I'm just going to come in at $42, right? No, that's not the case. Like, what did it actually last sell for? Let's go down there. Now, if it last sold for $10, you're still fine. Let's throw it in at $20. You're still going to be well under everybody else. And those items actually still sell. Some people hate selling high rank stuff. I think once you have a little bit of knowledge, I mean, what are we risking here? We're not going to win on every single one of these, right? You're not going to win on 100% of the items. But if we win on 6 out of 10, and we're making, $10+ profit and we're spending under $1, like we're winning here financially. And I think a lot of people think they got to sell every single one of these. That's not the case. Pick and choose your spots.
Yeah. If you sell 2 out of 10, it could be profitable. If we're talking about $50 ASP items, you sell 2 out of 10, you bring yourself in $80, you trash the other 8, you got to fucking pay $3, $4. Let's just say $4 because that's what's going to happen in 2026. Okay, now you're paying, what is that, 30? Is that 32? Am I doing that right? $32 in removal fees, but you brought in $80 in sales. It's worth it, and like that's really how you have to look at it. And then also realize like we all have our competitive advantage in different ways. And as a cherry picker, as a one man show, going out and finding the books, your competitive advantage is like looking at the data, understanding it. Because realize like those mega sellers, Mike says never go off of green or red. Like always look into it.
That's all they do.
Those mega sellers, that's all they do. Because like they're at such a scale that it for them it doesn't matter. Like if everyone in the warehouse, the 200 employees they have, were forced to watch Mike the Used Book Guy videos, they'd probably lose money because now they're all looking at, should I buy this? Should I not? And, they're $18 an hour people and like, they don't really care that much. And like all of a sudden their productivity goes way down the roof. So like the owners are like green here, yep. Red here. That's it. But the advantage we have is like, we're actually like the heart and soul of the business. So what you can do is look at a book. Oh shit, $100. Let's just say $100 low MF, 0 E-score, sales ranks 300K, similar to what that guy just said. Now what we can do is we can look at the Keepa, we can look at these things and we can say, oh, this actually sold back 6 months ago for $22. And now a book that people or CD that people are going to leave on the shelf, you can pick up. And a mega seller would list it maybe super high and they're not going to get the sale for a long time. But now you can get the sale profitably, probably pretty quickly, just by understanding like these small things. So that's a skill that you want to develop over time.
Yeah, a lot of people get caught up with the sales rank shit, and I'm just like, what's the data tell us? Like I remember there was a while where people were like, I'm never buying a book over 1 million rank. I think to myself like, damn, if I just stopped buying books over 1 million rank, like I never would find any books to sell. Like I sell so many I think the highest ranked book I sold in the past year was like 11.6 million or some shit like that. Yeah. Like just absolutely insane. Like, but that was one of those cases where you're like, it's probably way overpriced currently. That's why it hasn't sold in 9 months. Let's get in there. Maybe it wasn't available for a time. And then, some jackass came in and put it at 9. Like how many times you scan an item? It's like, somebody's got it listed for $3,000. It's like, nobody's paying this for Mariah Carey's Christmas CD, right? Like, let's get real with ourselves. Like, let's do a little bit of work on the back end. We're just data analysts. Like I think about this all the time. Like we just analyze data and we make decisions based off the data in front of us. Like that's how you win.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about Caleb Roth's tracking spreadsheet, it was kind of like a silly little thing, but it was cool. It told you the sales rank per item, and then it told you the average sales price per sales rank. It's like not anything you need to look at like every month to check, but it is kind of cool to look at. And a lot of people had like sales rank of 5 million, but the ASP was like $100 plus. And so it's like, oh, on average, books that my brain picks up for 5 million sales rank, I sell for $100. So like I'm making good decisions here. And then like there should be like an equivalent, like, oh, like you've lost this much in removal fees or whatever. But I guarantee you, like if you're as long as you're not buying like, whole back rooms of 5 million ranked books and you're actually looking at the data, like it's very profitable to pursue higher profit or higher ranked books.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's people that have whole business models around that. I mean, I know Joji does a lot of the slow remove and flipping stuff because you can get them for so cheap a lot of the times. I mean, it's just what's available to you and what data can you kind of wiggle your way through to kind of understand. And thankfully, if it is an item that never sells, wow, you made a $5 mistake. It's not a big deal. You probably made thousands of dollars since you have to get rid of that mistake 12 months later. So like, that's the benefit of starting in books and like media. Like, you can make so many mistakes and still be profitable. Like you can make mistake after mistake after mistake. Like I still make mistakes after mistakes and I'm still profitable. Like you can do endless mistakes and be A-okay because we have such a high ROI on everything we sell.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's called specific knowledge, but as time goes on, you learn more shit and then you just know how far ahead you are from the complete beginner. And when it comes to running Mike the Used Book Guy community and like posting on YouTube, like you probably know so much stuff that like a complete beginner coming in just wouldn't understand, like what kind of content hits well. What do people actually want on the call? Like what actually gets people results? Like that's like on the social media side, like the knowledge you have now versus Mike 5 years ago, like you're much more valuable. And when it comes to Mike going into the thrift store, you now know so much about like the books that actually do well that like, the other Joe Schmo that's walking in there is going to lose so much money you know, he's got his head in the right place. He's going to pick up the books that, you know, Scout IQ tells him to or Scout League tells him to, but he's screwed in terms of like actually understanding what's going to do well over time. So that's what gets me motivated about any business model is like, okay, like how am I going to gain this competitive advantage with all this knowledge and things you're learning? And everyone listening who's been doing this for a while, like just realize you do have a lot of knowledge that people don't have starting out. And that is your advantage.
I sold this CD, perfect example. I just went and looked through my orders. I didn't scroll far at all, right? I'm gonna put this specific CD link in the chat. I sold the CD. I listed it in GoToLister on 12/14. So December 14th of this past December. When I listed it, it was ranked 225,000, and I sold it for $27.71, and it's been less than a month. Like that's the perfect example of something to be on the lookout for when it comes to these types of situations where you quote unquote won a gamble. Is it really a gamble? The answer is no, because you're going to come out ahead. You send a few of these in, you only got to sell one to cover, even if all the other 10 you don't sell because you're paying a quarter or 50 cents.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I sold it for $27.71 because it is. Oh, that's why. There's $16.99 delivery right now, so it's someone selling it for $10.73 plus $16.99 delivery. So I undercut them basically by a penny and made the sale with under a month for a CD that somebody probably wouldn't touch just because it's ranked 225K. I don't know, man. It's tough. I think it's, you know, one thing I have learned doing this and being in content creation is the doom and gloom and the end of time shit is always going to get the most attention. And I just challenge everybody to see the upside. And, you know, when you see these people posting, still doing crazy numbers, right? Like that could be you. That could be any of us. Like you could go out. People doing part-time. I shit you not. There's people doing selling media part-time, doing over 40 grand a month in sales on Amazon, like part-time. Like they're not out here like grinding 6-7 days, right? Like I'm doing a day, 2 days maybe, and I'm doing well over like between 12 and like 17K a month, right? You're talking 10-12 hours a week. Like holy shit, like it's such a great opportunity, but it's just one of these people that makes this negative post. I'm going to make a post probably tomorrow and the GoToLister group and the other Amazon FBA group. Like it is still viable and 100% very profitable to sell media on Amazon in 2026. If this buy box never comes back, who gives a shit? If more people go away, it's better for us.
Yeah. I'm waiting for you to drop that triggers video. It's funny. I shot like a crazy YouTube video today. I really want to make my content more engaging this year. I literally like more than like 70% of the time was giving my video editor instructions. So we'll see how it does, but it's just like fast paced. Because I feel like so many videos are fucking boring. It's like we're talking about selling used books, and I'm like, all right, like how can I take somebody who's never heard of selling used books and like make this thing cool and like make sure to find the right people who this would actually be a good business model for. And forgot where I was going with that. We're talking about the video. What did I talk about the video? Triggers. I was like, Mike's got to have a video on the new triggers. So I was like, yeah, there's a trigger video below. Mike, I don't even know if I said Mike, but I looked it up and you didn't have a trigger video yet. I'm like, fuck, now we got to make one. And so, I think and I don't think we really talked too much about this, but in terms of triggers, what is your mentality right now? Like, cause I'm thinking what logically makes sense to me is compared to the low price, you know, but so, are you still doing FBA in some scenarios and banking on, you know, people just buying because of the Prime shipping?
So I wish, can I share my screen on this StreamYard or no?
And then after this question, I do got to run. I told I'll hop on the call with Miles.
All right, hop on the call with Miles. But yeah, so basically with the trigger set this year, I modified it. So we have a guaranteed trigger, right? This is what I like to call for books ranked under 250K. We actually went down on profit. Why do we do that? We're still going to count. These have high sell-through. Eventually, your prime offer will sell. But as we go down to the slower moving stuff, we changed it. So when you scan one of these items now, it'll scan yellow instead of green, and it'll say lowest price check. So exactly what you said. It'll scan as an accept, but your job when you hit one of these It's going to say yellow. It's going to be yellow up top. It's going to say lowest price check. Your job is to look at the merchants. Can you be the lowest price across the board? So this is only for the slower moving items. We still rely on the prime bump for faster moving items. But once we get down into the weeds with the millions and the 100,000s and CDs and DVDs, now when you scan it, it pops yellow. It says lowest price check. That triggers you to look over to the merchant, see if we can still be profitable if we are at the lowest merchant price.
Roger that. Yeah, that makes sense. We need to chat more soon about that sourcing tool because we're working on it. And
yeah, for sure, dude. Whenever you need me, just shoot me a text.
Cool. Sounds good. I got to run.
Appreciate you all. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Peace out. See ya.